So here's what we did in class today, October 26th. For those of you who missed it, or anybody who just wants a quick refresher, we drew this in our notebook. And we started off by drawing over here. We said we had this patch of warmer air. And the warm air is going to rise because it's less dense than the air around it. And as we know, if something's less dense than everything around it, it's going to rise up. And we said as it rises, it creates this area of low pressure. Well, over here we have colder air. And colder air is going to be more dense than the air around it, and it's going to sink down. And as it sinks, it creates an area of higher pressure. We then went to our definition of wind, which is the horizontal movement of air from an area of low pressure to an area of high pressure. Well, we have high pressure over here and low pressure over here. I wonder what's going to happen. We took a balloon. And ask the question, what is the air pressure inside of the balloon related to the air pressure outside? So we said, well, it's about equal, right? It's open, there's no difference in pressure. Then we blew it up. Now the pressure inside the balloon is a lot higher than the pressure outside of the balloon. It's pushing out on the sides of the balloon and causing it to expand. What does the air want to do? It wants to move from this area of high pressure inside the balloon to an area of low pressure outside the balloon. And if we let it go, it does just that. Air is going to do the exact same thing. If air finds itself in an area of high pressure and there's an area of low pressure, it's going to move in that direction and create wind. Then we took a look at our convection toaster, as somebody called it. We already had this drawn in our book, and we said, that kind of looks like what's going on the board. It kind of shows a little bit of the same thing. We saw the smoke moving down this tube, across, over to the candle, and then out the tube that was above the candle. We had warm air rising over here, cooler air going down in here and moving across, and that was creating our wind. So what I want you to do is apply these labels to our diagram of our convection toaster and answer this question as well. Why do we have these warmer spots on Earth? Some spots on Earth are obviously warmer and some are obviously colder, like the poles are covered in ice. The equator is nice and hot. But why? If I'm in Pleasanton and it's a hot summer day, and I drive over to Castro Valley, over the hill, even then, if as I'm driving, I can feel it cooling down, that's not even 10 miles away. And then when I get there, sometimes it's 10 degrees cooler than it was here in Pleasanton. That's a pretty big difference. Why is it? What are some things? Because maybe there's more than one that determines it, but come up with as many as you can. Why would some spots on Earth be warmer than other spots? After you finish that, do your reading assignment. Adios.